Hey everybody, Kyle Sasser here, and it's everybody's favorite time of the month. That's right, real estate market statistics time. These real estate market statistics are for Hillsborough County for July 2024. Now, before we dive into the usual rigmarole here, probably wondering, hey, where were you last month? Well, I was sick. Went to the PGA Championship down in Valhalla, down in Louisville, Kentucky. Got a sinus infection and literally have been, struggling a little bit to get back on it. Those of you that I've talked with in person on the phone know that, I've been coughing pretty steadily for a couple months and had some other things, lost 10 pounds in like 7 days. And anyway, I'm doing much better. Obviously, not coughing right now, so doing exceptionally well. No major health concerns or anything. I took a battery of tests. All good. Just a little word to the wise: if you do have a 102 fever, be sure to drink significant amounts of fluids, because if you don't, it definitely can compound into some other issues. So, like I said, all good now. So if you have a copy of these stats, and I welcome you to download one, you can find the link in the description down below. If you have these stats in front of you and you're going to be following along, you'll probably notice that we are in July, but the date on this report is June. Why is that? Well, it's because in real estate, things take a while. And really, the best way to compare numbers to know what the market is doing is to compare month to month. If you try to do day to day or week to week, it's too much happens or doesn't happen in a given day or a given week. Whereas a month is a long enough period of time that it is relatively reliable to compare it to previous years. The other piece there that you might have picked up on at the end is that we are comparing year to year. So that means that we are comparing June 2024 numbers to June 2023 numbers. We do that because during the course of a year, real estate has a natural ebb and flow. A lot of times it basically coincides with the school year as well as the seasons of the year. Just wintertime, not a lot of people looking to sell houses, not a lot of people looking to buy houses, although plenty of houses still sell in the wintertime. So we are comparing June 2024 numbers to June 2023 numbers. I do look a little bit more into the month to month for the past couple of years, just because the market has been jostling around a little bit more than usual, but I will be sure to make particular note of those items as we go through this report here. Now, if you remember back to your math class, might remember mean, median, mode. I don't remember what mode is, but mean is also known as average, and that's, as I'm sure you know, you take, let's say, 5 houses, you add them up, you divide it by 5, that gives you the average home price. Median home price is a little different. What the median price point is, that is the point at which there's an equal number of homes that are selling for more as well as for less. So it's basically the true midpoint of the market, where there's an equal number of homes for sale or that have sold on both sides. I typically give a little bit more weight to median home price because it is not pulled as hard as an average is if you have a significantly higher number of lower priced homes or higher priced homes sold in a particular time period. But even then, with numbers kind of where they're at being so low, median home price has been moving around more than typically expected. All right, let's dive into these market statistics. Closed sales was down 15.9% from 1,631 to 1,372. Median sales price dropped 0.3%, which that's effectively level, from $437,990 to $436,465. Average sales price was up 4% to $588,638. Median percent of original list price dropped 1% to 97. Median time to contract went up 16.7% from 8 days to 21 days. So median time to contract, that's a bit of a bellwether so far as, our prices probably going up or probably going down. At 21 days, that is still very much a seller's market. Make no mistake about it. I would have killed for 21 days on market back in 2018, 2019. The only reason that sounds like a lot is because we're comparing it to 2021, 2022, which were crazy pants times. Like, that's unsustainable. So that was a completely an unsustainable market. So if you see news stories out there, they're talking about, every house on the market is having price cuts. That is how a real estate market is supposed to be. You see another news story out there like, houses are sitting on the market for weeks. Again, that is the normal state of things. Seller's market is generally 0 to 30, 0 to 40 days. Neutral market is going to be 30 to 50-ish days, 40 to 60 days. Buyer's market is usually like 50 days or longer. And we're at 21, so we're still very much on the seller's market territory. Total number of new listings went up 7.3% to 1,866 homes. Active inventory went up 66.4% to 3,893, which is big. We have over 3 times as many homes for sale than are actually selling. So some people call that month supply. Personally, I think month supply is a bit of a stupid metric, but I'd rather look at the actual numbers. But yeah, having 3 times as many homes available that are actually getting sold, historically, that would lean towards declining prices. There's some catches on that, which I'll go over in kind of the analysis section here. But that's a good sign. Like, you can't have price reductions unless you have excessive inventory. Like, that's number one. So the fact that we do have excessive inventory at least has some glimmer of hope as far as prices declining. And short sales and foreclosures, not much going on in the doom and gloom section. We had 7 foreclosures and 0 short sales. Now, I do like to go over different price points because, $1 million house sells a little bit different time frame than a $300,000 house. That's primarily just because there's more buyers in that $300,000 price point than at $1 million. Now, that said, there's nothing too surprising in these. Basically, we're selling fewer houses than we were last year. So basically, everything's down so far as total number of closed sales. There's not really too much information to be gleaned there, except that 300,000 is basically the kind of the cut point. It's like there's 100 homes that sold under 300,000, and there's like 1,500 homes that sold for more than 300,000. So you can kind of see where the cut in the market is. Yeah, I mean, so far as like divining out some sort of market trend or something out of that, it's all down. Median time to contract is basically, kind of all over the place. We have a lot that held pretty steady. And again, that's kind of been Hillsborough County's kind of story. But basically, everything is just kind of like 20 days, 30 days, 25 days, 21 days, 22, 20. Nothing's really too crazy. Well, I guess 50 to 100,000 is at 0 days to contract. So that was probably because, that's why. You always have to keep an eye on your stats. So the reason that is at 0 is because there was also 0 homes that sold between 50 and 100,000. Context matters when it comes to statistics. Now, so far as the number of new listings, honestly, everything's holding pretty steady. We have listed about the same number of homes at all the various price points compared to last year. 250 to 300,000, we listed 94, but that's a 4.4% increase. 300 to 400,000 was up 8.1% to 492. 400 to 600 was up 7.2% to 682. And 3, 4, 5%, it's noteworthy, but it's not like crazy, right? Like, what I have kind of running in the back of my mind is like, if we get back to 2017 numbers of new listings. So for example, we'll just pull that up here because it is. And so the stats that I have in my spreadsheet, those go all the way back to 2007. The report here only goes back to 2019, but we can see here on new listings. So if you go to your new listings page here, you will see that like June 2022, we listed, 2,500 homes. Like, that's 500 more homes than 500 or 600 more homes than we listed, last month. And if you go back even further, there was months where we would list 3,000 homes. And, back then, yes, number of purchases was up as well. It's super odd because the number of buyers is down, but the number of new listings is down compared to historic norms as well. And overall, like if we pull back big picture and just look at the market, like which one's going to break loose? Are interest rates going to go down and the number of buyers come back and buyer confidence goes up and they come back? Or, are people going to get tired of holding houses and decide to put them up for sale? I have some suspicions on the, especially on the rental side of things. I think that because there is a lot of rentals out there currently. Let's say you own like 500 homes, when your return on home investment doesn't pan out because rents don't always keep going up. People are going to start liquidating those portfolios of rentals because the heyday is over so far as appreciation, rental income going up $200 every 3 or 4 months. But let's get back to the actual stats here instead of the conjecture. So inventory by price, again, mostly down. There's a couple little blips here where it's up. So 250 to 300,000, there's 20% more homes for sale, total of 96. And then above that's where the bulk of the market is. So 300 to 400,000, there's 404 homes. That's a decrease of 8.4%. 400 to 600, pretty significant, 44% drop to 479 homes. 600 to 1 million, 58.7% drop, total of 215 homes. So yeah, just inventory is down across the board, but there is still more to choose from than there was 1 year or 2 years ago. Now, what exactly do we make of all this? Hillsborough County, again, basically been moving pretty solid for the last 6 or 7 months. Closed sales basically been bouncing between like 1,000 and 1,500. Median sales price has been bouncing between like 420, 435. There's a couple blips of 445 in there, but those are unusual. Hillsborough County basically been like 425, 435 for 6, 7, 8 months now. And there's nothing in these stats to indicate that that's going to shift any point in time soon. Good thing so far as the buyers go. With that amount of inventory, things are pretty slow on the seller side. The other good news is a lot of agents don't remember or they weren't active before 2020. And so they don't remember what a real estate market used to be like. So I got to tell you, we've been negotiating some extremely good credits, concessions, money off, and all that stuff. Because a lot of agents are like, sky is falling, not realizing that, this is still extremely good. Like I would have killed for this time to contracts in 2018, 2019. The natural state of things is houses take a while to sell. 2, 3, 4 months is not unusual. Prices need to be discounted 2 or 3 times to get to that point where it sells. Like that's the normal state of things. And everyone treats 2020 through 2022 like that is what a market is supposed to be like. Kind of put that put that feather in your cap and use it to your advantage a little bit on the buying side. If you're thinking about selling, it's still very much a seller's market. Like 25 days on market is nothing. Like that's literally like 3 weeks. There's definitely still a lot of things that we do to help our listings sell faster than that and for more money. It's not just to put it up there and get it sold sort of thing. But yeah, Hillsborough, steady Eddie. Pinellas County, not so much. Pinellas County definitely has a excess of inventory compared to how many homes that are selling every month. The descriptor I use for that is imagine someone in a race, and Pinellas County has basically plowed headfirst into the hurdles. And now they're basically like stumbling and trying to catch back up with where the inventory is at. The question over on that side is, will the number of buyers come back to outweigh that? I think probably, but you never know. But that is a clear shift over on the Pinellas County side. Hillsborough, though, steady Eddie. Thank you so much for tuning in to these real estate market statistics. My name is Kyle Sasser. I am the team leader for Ashland Home Team. If you would like to reach me, if you would like some help with your own real estate decisions, I'd be happy to help you out. Yes, do listings, and we also help buyers as well. You can reach me at 727-300-2111. If you would prefer to book a chat at a time that works best for you, there is a link to my calendar in the description down below. You can click on that, choose the time that works best for you, and then my bright and shining voice will show up on the phone call or in the chat box and answer any questions that you have. Thank you so much for tuning into these stats. Really, overall, I feel like something is probably going to shift pretty soon. Don't know what it is. Kind of depends on what the Fed does with their interest rates, but It's we little people can basically just sit here and kind of read the tea leaves, which allows me to help you out to the best of my ability. So once again, my name's Kyle Sasser. Thank you so much for tuning in, and I'll talk to you soon.